The African savanna stretches endlessly, painted in gold and green beneath a vast blue sky. Here, among acacia trees and tall grasses, lives the white rhinoceros, a living relic of a prehistoric world. Despite its massive size and formidable appearance, the white rhino is surprisingly gentle and social. Unlike many large herbivores, white rhinos often gather in small groups called crashes, where mothers and calves form deep bonds. They communicate with snorts and grunts, navigating a complex social world. As grazers, their wide, square lips are perfectly adapted for cropping short grasses, shaping the landscape as they feed. By keeping grasses short, they help maintain the ecosystem, creating open spaces that benefit countless other animals. These gentle giants are the gardeners of the savanna, playing a vital but often unseen role. Observing a white rhino is a humbling reminder of nature's power and beauty. They have survived for millions of years, adapting through countless changes. Their resilience is a quiet testament to the strength of life on the African continent. Yet their story is also one of struggle and hope. The fate of the white rhino now rests in our hands. To protect them, we must first understand them. Only then can we ensure these gentle giants continue to roam the savanna for generations to come. The white rhino's name is the result of a simple misunderstanding. Its skin isn't white but gray, just like other rhino species. Early settlers misheard the Afrikaans word wid, meaning wide, referring to the rhino's broad mouth as white. The name stuck, while its cousin, the black rhino, was named simply for contrast, not color. Beyond its name, the white rhino is a true heavyweight, second only to the elephant. Adult males can weigh over 2,300 kilograms and stand nearly 2 meters tall. Their thick folded skin acts as armor, protecting them from thorns and predators. The rhino's most iconic feature is its two horns, made of keratin, the same material as our hair and nails. The front horn can grow over 1.5 meters long and is essential for defense, digging, and guiding calves. These horns are both a symbol of strength and, tragically, the reason for the rhino's greatest threat. The story of the white rhino is forever shaped by this case of mistaken identity and the might it represents. The white rhino is perfectly adapted to Africa's open grasslands and savannas. These vast plains provide the short grass and water they need to survive. Rhinos are creatures of routine, following familiar paths to grazing spots and water holes. They love to wallow in mud, which cools their bodies, protects their skin from the sun, and helps remove parasites. Once, white rhinos roamed much of southern and central Africa, but their range has shrunk dramatically. Today, most are found in protected areas in South Africa, Namibia, Zimbabwe, and Kenya. Within these reserves, they share their home with zebras, wildebeest, elephants, and more. White rhinos are a cornerstone species, shaping the environment for countless others. Their presence signals a healthy ecosystem. Saving the rhino means preserving the entire web of life on the savanna. Their survival is about more than one species. It's about the future of Africa's wild heart. The white rhino's home is a world worth protecting. Despite their strength, white rhinos face a deadly threat: poaching. Poachers, driven by the high value of rhino horn, use advanced technology to hunt these animals relentlessly. Rhino horn fetches a higher price than gold on the black market, fueling a global illegal trade. The demand comes mainly from parts of Asia, where horn is wrongly believed to have medicinal properties or is used as a status symbol. Science has proven rhino horn is just keratin, like fingernails, with no healing power. Yet myths and social prestige continue to drive the slaughter. Horns are carved into ornaments or ground into powder for parties and gifts. This demand, based on false beliefs, is pushing rhinos ever closer to extinction. The shadow of poaching looms large over the future of these gentle giants. For rhinos, the horn is a tool for survival. For poachers, it's a source of wealth. Horns are brutally hacked off, often leaving rhinos to die in agony. The illegal trade in rhino horn is a dark, complex network stretching from Africa to Asia. Poachers risk their lives for a fraction of the profit, while middlemen and traffickers reap the rewards. The trade fuels corruption, violence, and instability in local communities. Rangers risk their lives daily to protect rhinos, often facing heavily armed poaching gangs. Many have paid the ultimate price in this dangerous fight. The vastness of protected areas and the sophistication of criminal syndicates make enforcement difficult. Breaking the cycle requires global cooperation, stronger law enforcement, disrupting trafficking, and reducing demand. The high price of a horn is paid not just by rhinos, but by people and entire ecosystems. Ending poaching is a challenge we must all face together. The white rhino story is one of near extinction. By the late 1800s, uncontrolled hunting and habitat loss had nearly wiped them out. In 1895, the southern white rhino was thought extinct, until a tiny group was discovered in South Africa's KwaZulu-Natal. Fewer than 100 remained, the last hope for the subspecies. This discovery sparked an urgent conservation effort. Protected areas like Luluwe Mfolozi Park were established, and anti-poaching patrols were deployed. Every rhino became precious, and the goal was not just survival, but recovery. The white rhino's brush with extinction is a stark reminder of how quickly a species can vanish. Their near loss was a direct result of human actions, but it also showed that determined people can make a difference. The world almost lost a giant, but hope remained. The next chapter would prove just how powerful that hope could be. The white rhino's survival became a symbol of what's possible when we act together. From fewer than 100 individuals, the southern white rhino began an extraordinary comeback. Protected in their sanctuary, the population slowly increased as calves were born and herds grew. Conservationists launched Operation Rhino, moving rhinos to new safe locations to spread out the risk. Translocation required skill and care, but it created a safety net. If one group faced danger, others could survive. New populations were established across Africa, and the species began to reclaim its former range. This success was the result of collaboration. Governments, conservationists, landowners, and communities working together. The southern white rhino's recovery is one of the greatest conservation stories ever told. It proves that with dedication and a clear plan, we can bring species back from the brink. The journey was slow and challenging, but it worked. The white rhino's comeback is a triumph of hope, teamwork, and resilience. It's a reminder that it's never too late to make a difference. The story continues, inspiring new generations to protect our planet's natural heritage. The white rhino's survival is living proof that conservation works. Their future, however, still depends on our choices. Today, the southern white rhino numbers around 16 to 17,000, a beacon of hope. But the threat of poaching has returned, and their numbers are once again at risk. The white rhino's story is actually two stories, the southern and the northern subspecies. While the southern white rhino has rebounded, the northern white rhino's fate is tragic. Decades of war and poaching decimated the northern population. By the early 2000s, only a handful remained, and now just two survive, both females, Najin and Fatu. With no males left, natural reproduction is impossible. The subspecies is functionally extinct. Scientists are racing to use advanced reproductive technology, hoping to create embryos and save the northern white rhino. It's a race against time, and a stark lesson in the cost of delayed action. The northern white rhino story is a warning. The southern white rhino's recovery is a symbol of hope. Together, they remind us what's at stake and what's possible. The future of both subspecies depends on what we do next. The white rhino's journey is a story of loss and hope, warning and inspiration. The extinction of the northern white rhino is a solemn reminder of what's at stake. But the southern white rhino's recovery shows that positive change is possible when we act together. Rangers, scientists, communities, and supporters worldwide are all guardians of the rhino's future. The fight isn't over. Poaching and demand for horn remain threats. Education, protection, and community support are key to lasting change. The fate of the white rhino depends on our choices today. By learning, caring, and acting, we can ensure these giants continue to roam the savanna. Let's work for a future where seeing a white rhino is not a rare privilege, but a celebrated reality. The gentle giant's story is not finished, and together, we can write its next chapter.